The news day continues here on One News Now. I'm Pauline Verzosa. Timor-Leste has granted again our government's request to extradite expelled lawmaker Arnie Teves. The Justice Department expressed gratitude to the Timor-Leste government for ruling again in favor for them. The date for Teves' extradition has yet to be confirmed. Now, Teves has been charged for the murder of former Negros Oriental Governor Roel Degamo and others back in March 2023. The government has also designated him as a terrorist. Teves' camp has yet to comment about this latest development. The Philippine government is set to file another diplomatic protest against China. This was confirmed by Foreign Affairs Secretary Enrique Manalo, saying that we were within our legal rights. His statement comes after two recent incidents of apparent harassment by China in the West Philippine Sea. Beijing insisted that what they did was legal and necessary to protect its supposed sovereignty over our territory. Meanwhile, the United Nations is working to get enough funds to help those who are still reeling from the calamities. Now, that includes the Philippines, which was recently battered by 6 consecutive cyclones. Brian Basa has that report.
This is what climate injustice looks like, says the UN. For a country that has very little blame to take for global warming, the Philippines is still the most disaster-prone place in the world.
You don't see the scars that are sort of hidden behind when those waters, go away. And so that recovery period for the most vulnerable households when these events happen just simply takes longer and greater support is needed.
Climate funding has also been a challenge. This year's UN Climate Change Conference ended with a $300 billion annual financing deal. Developing nations, however, are slamming their wealthier counterparts for what they call a paltry sum. But UN Philippines guarantees this bitterly negotiated deal will have nothing to do with their course of action.
The challenge isn't, how much governments commit at COP to certain decisions, ways forward, solutions. Important to flag is that what we're seeing with climate change is increasing severity and increasing frequency of events.
UN Philippines has achieved more than half of its target fund, $42 million or some 2.5 billion pesos for the 8 worst-hit provinces in Luzon. The money will help residents get alternate livelihoods, clean water, housing materials, and educational aid, among others. UN Philippines is closely working with local governments and national agencies. It's also reaching out to the grassroots to train residents to prepare for incoming storms so that calamities won't end up as disasters.
We have the scientific knowledge, we have experts that are good in crops, especially rice. We should be able to find a way to utilize our capacities to develop an agriculture sector that's climate resilient.
Resilience building is a development investment. It means that it's when you make the most of the existing resources and institutions to support long-term responses to that. And in this long-term response, of course, is the prevention. And
the timing could have never been better for the country as it hosts the Loss and Damage Fund Board. The UN says this is our chance to show stakeholders everywhere that climate change is real and that we need to set our priorities straight for a sustainable future. For News 5, I'm Brian Basa, and we are One News.
We still have more stories after this break. Keep it here on One News. Welcome back. You're still watching One News Now. I'm Pauline Verzosa. And now for the weather, Pag-asa is not seeing any low pressure area within and outside the Philippine territory. The Weather Bureau says the country will remain cyclone-free at least in the next 5 days. But several areas may experience rains due to the Amihan and Easterlies. These include Batanes, Cordillera Region, Cagayan, and Isabela. As for the rest of the country, including Metro Manila, it may also expect rains due to localized thunderstorms. The South Korean police has launched an investigation into President Yoon Suk-yeol for potential sedition. This is the police's response to the complaints filed by a group of activists for Yoon's shocking declaration of a short-lived martial law. The South Korean president is also facing an impeachment complaint from the opposition lawmakers. Yoon's defense minister Kim Yong-hyun also stepped down from his position and took responsibility for the emergency martial law. Meanwhile, U.S. President-elect Donald Trump has selected former Georgia Senator Kelly Loeffler as the leader of the Small Business Administration. Loeffler was Georgia's senator in 2020 after she was appointed to a vacant seat. She previously expressed her intention to vote against the certification of the electoral votes when Trump lost in the 2020 elections. However, she changed her mind after the violent January 6 incident. Antipolo is living up to its reputation as the pilgrimage capital of the country. Recently, the LGU unveiled a giant Christmas tree made from recycled materials. Para bigyan ng mukha ang balita, Mobile Journal, Ivan Tarinque.
Ilang tulog na lang at magpapasko na. Kaya naman kaliwat kanan ang pagbubukas ng mga naglalakihang Christmas tree. Ang pakulo ng iba, giant Christmas tree na gawa sa recycled materials.
Kumukuti-kutitap ng mga Christmas display at isang 55-foot snow-capped Christmas tree na may temang White Christmas. Ito ang mga sasalubong sa inyo ngayon sa Sumulong Park sa pilgrimage capital of the Philippines, Antipolo. Ang mas kahanga-hanga pa rito, ang higanteng Christmas tree na nagsisilbing sentro ng atraksyon sa parke ay gawa mula sa mga recycled materials gaya ng plastic bottles. Nakamit ito sa bayanihan ng mga empleyado ng City Hall, materials recovery facilities ng lungsod, at mga junk shop owners sa Antipolo. Ang proyektong ito ay bahagi ng Yes to Green program ng lungsod na layunin pangalagaan ng kalikasan at itaguyod ang pagre-recycle. Sa ganda ng display, maraming bisita ang hindi makapaniwalang gawa ito sa libo-libo recyclable plastics at non-plastic materials.
First look, akala mo talaga parang mamahali na materials yung ginamit. Sino ba namang makakapag-isip na recycled materials pala gawa yung ganyang kagandang Christmas tree dito?
Pwede ring pasukin ng ilalim ng higanting Christmas tree. Mala Winter Wonderland ang eksena. Dahil mayroon pang Santa Claus at ilang mga snowman, mapabata o matanda, talagang abala sa pagkuha ng pictures at selfies. Ang iba naman, dumiretso mula sa trabaho para mag-unwind at mag-relax kasama ang kanilang pamilya.
Kagaya ngayon, nakalalabas ko lang sa work, inaya ko sila, sabi ko, lakad-lakad kami, sightseeing, ganyan, para ma-refresh naman yung namin.
Libre ang pagbisita sa park araw-araw at bukas ang ilaw mula 5 p.m. hanggang 11 p.m. tuwing Lunes hanggang Huwebes. Tuwing Biyernes hanggang Linggo naman, extended hanggang 12 midnight ang mga ilaw nito. Kaya ano pang hinihintay nyo? Tara na sa Antipolo!
Sa darating na Pasko, huwag po nating kalimutan na mag-recycle ng mga bagay na pwede pang mapakinabangan para hindi lang merry ang inyong Christmas, nakatulong pa kayo kay inang kalikasan. Mobile Journal, Ivan Tarinque po, hatid ang mukha ng balita.
And those are the top stories of the hour this Friday. I'm Pauline Verzosa. We are One News.